This module describes the local control panels on the NFT system and on the S-PAN system. They're very similar in a lot of ways and different in others. The first one we're going to look at is an S-PAN, which is similar to a Beto bucket system, in which it uses a timer to control the pumping of water, even though it's recirculated into the plant itself, to prevent overwatering. In the close-up frame, okay, here are the major components. This is all local control panels have a GFCI breaker. The GFCI breaker protects all of the other circuits that is attached to it to keep the operator from any kind of electrical shock. If there is a ground somewhere, the GFCI breaker will trip and shut things down, rendering the unit safe. Power comes into the GFCI breaker at the top. There's a neutral line and a power line, and of course a ground. GFCI breakers are unique in that the neutral line flows directly through, as you can see over here. So really the only thing that's switched is going to be the line, and on the other side is the load. This particular GFCI breaker is for a normal S-PAN system, one that does not have an automatic dosing system in it. The GFCI breaker, okay, this output goes into the signal side of, or port 5 of the timer, runs around to the splitter, and from the splitter it goes to two places. It goes to the breaker for the heating mat, and it goes to power up the timer itself. As you can see on the other side of this, the white line is the other end of the timer, and that goes to the neutral bus. Both the timer and the GROMAT circuit breaker goes to its own set of discharge clip points. Orange is ground, black is the line, and white is the neutral line. And as you can see, they're all distributed out and all connected correctly. The timer for the circulating pump is on this side, again with the neutral and the ground here. So to set the power on, okay, that puts the breaker in the on position. If there is a short circuit, the breaker will trip. You can do a manual trip by pressing this button. In order for this to work correctly, the whole panel has to be energized, and we don't have it energized in this mode. But what will happen is that the breaker will trip, and the power will be off to everything that is down in the bottom. The mat breaker is similar, okay, and in this case you can see there's a red line, which means it's energized. Again, if there's a problem or a short circuit in the heating mat, this will trip, putting up a green light, and you'll be able to spot that immediately. Now, this particular unit itself, okay, like I said, is for the S-PAN, and it only has a circulating pump and a GROMAT on it. This is the control panel for the automated S-PAN system. Again, we have the GFCI circuit breaker is the same. The timer for the circulating pump is the same. There's a breaker for the heating mat, which is underneath. But in addition, there's a separate circuit breaker for this, what's called the sampling pump, which is a much smaller pump which takes water from the reservoir, runs it past the sensors and the doser, and then returns it to the reservoir, circulating it. In other words, it's taking a sample of the water, checking the EC and the pH, and adjusting if it's required. Now, The timers are preset for 4 times a day. However, you need to know how to cycle them. Okay, inside every local control panel, as soon as I can open this, there we go. Another important thing to know is how to set the timer. Okay, we open it up, you can see that that's the current time when we're filming this, and these are all the control buttons. We're not going to be able to activate it again because there's no power to the unit. Okay, all these units were pre-tested. This button here, okay, controls the time on the clock. So if I press this, okay, I can adjust the hour for time changes, such as this. And we'll bring it back up to, was it 10 or 11? It was 10. Since it didn't move, I'm just going to take it around again, and you guys can edit this whichever way you want. And as long as you hold the button, you can adjust the hours. We do the same timing for every day. This is the minute button. I'm just going to press it once to go to 10:18:04. Now, the programming mode, like I said, is set. You can have up to 24 different on-off settings. I'm going to step you through what we have so far. So pressing once, that gets you into program 1, and it starts at 6 in the morning. You can see it's set for on position. Normally what will happen is in operation, you can see this little LED here glows orange-red, and you know that the circuit is on. Okay, and it goes from 6 a.m. to 6:20. It's a 20-minute run cycle for the pump. At 10 to 10:10, just a small amount of water. At noon to noon 15, that's 15 minutes worth of water. Again, you can adjust this exactly the same way. Once you're in that programming mode, you don't have to hold the programming button, but you can add a couple minutes if you want to. At 3 o'clock to 3:15, and then 6 o'clock at night, notice it's in 24-hour time, to 6:20, and then it recycles off. To get out of the programming mode, you hit the clock button. It's very simple. And now you're back to 10:19. This is the NFT local control panel for a non-automated system. You notice it still has a GFCI breaker for protection, 2 circuit breakers, one for the circulating pump itself, and the other for the heat mat, which is underneath. We don't use a timer in this system. This is for a nutrient film technique. It's continuously running. Operation, of course, is a lot simpler. You can, turn it on. Again, you can manually trip it. It won't manually trip unless it's energized. The neutral line, it comes in the top along with the power line. Neutral goes all the way through, again connects to the neutral bar over here, and then goes out to the 2 attached pumps. The attached pump, and then it goes out to the circulating pump and the heat mat. There's a slight variant in the NFT panel for the automated system. The only difference is instead of having 2 circuit breakers for the heat mat and for the circulating pump, we add a 3rd breaker that is specifically for the sampling pump. The sampling pump in the NFT system has the same mission as the sampling pump in the S-Pan system. In other words, it runs continuously. It's taking a continuous sample of the reservoir. Even though in the S-Pan system, the circulating pump is on and off, the sampling pump still runs continuously, so you have a continuous reading of your reservoir's contents.